Okay, not sure what happened there. I just love when my system likes to shut down for absolutely no reason. Oh boy, I don't even know what happened there that caused it to shut down. It kind of just shut down on me for no reason. Anyway, let me do a thing or two here because for some reason my system decided to shut down on me because everything decides to act up for no reason. Not sure why, but okay. It's just a bit weird there. Wow, everything's kind of acting up on my computer right now. Like, legit, I can't even open up any of the other stuff I wanted to open up. This is crazy. This is actually crazy behavior. So my system decided to malfunction out of nowhere. So now I got to figure out where I was at the time and get that back. Okay. I got it. I got it. This is all right. So yeah, not exactly sure what the heck happened there. Everything went black on my screen. Love it. I know I gotta update this computer, but I could do that afterwards. I'm damn near done. Just give me a couple more minutes. Just give me some more minutes. Give me some time to wrap up what I was trying to say here. Good lord, my own system's failing me. But yeah, I got everything back now. I got everything back. Okay. So, sorry for the stream just shutting off for absolutely no reason. I have no clue why that happened. Everything in my screen turned black when I was going to the next page to talk about their Georgia's previous season. So everything seems to be back in order. So let's go on to 2022. So this is the last bit of information I have to really show, and then after that we can just really discuss how some people feel about the signing itself. So I talked about it in 2021. The offense in 2021, the offense in terms of the passing game, they went from 250 to 252, and they went from 174 to 191, which led them to have a total of 443 yards of offense. In his third year as the offensive coordinator for Georgia, they go 15-0. They win their second national championship, destroying TCU. I watched that game. It was horrible. It was a beatdown. But what's very interesting is how the offense went. The offense took a massive jump. In 2021, they averaged 252 passing yards. In 2022, they averaged 296 passing yards. In 2021, they averaged 191 rushing yards. In 2022, they averaged 205 rushing yards. So they went from 443 total yards to over 500 total yards of offense on the season, with them capping it off with the national title. That's really good. That is really good. That is exactly what you would want to see. That's exactly what you would want. You're seeing improvement. And that's the thing I really want to talk about when it comes to Todd Monken. It's just the improvement. You're seeing improvement. Every year he's been there, you're seeing improvement with his offense. You're seeing improvement. And that's the best part. You want to bring in a guy that's going to be able to improve the offense the longer he's here. And if you saw with the Tampa Bay situation, the offense got better and better and better the longer he was there. From 2016 to 2018, the offense got better. In 2016, they were ranked 18th in total yards and 16th in passing yards. By the time he left his final year there, they were ranked third in total yards, first in passing yards. You see, in Georgia, when he got there their first year, they were averaging 250 passing yards and 174 rushing yards. By 2022, they boost up to 296 passing yards and 205 rushing yards. A true balance on offense. So honestly, this guy can adapt to any situation he's thrown in, and every situation he's been in, you've seen a level of improvement with the offense. What's going on, Steven? You're seeing an improvement with the offense. So with Todd Monken, he's shown that he has an understanding of the passing game, and he's able to maximize the talent that's brought to him, and the offense has been able to improve every single year he's been that offensive coordinator. So you see that he has experience working with receivers because he was a receiving coach. So he has experience working with receivers. He's been able to maximize the talent at receivers. He's been able to improve the offenses wherever he's gone when he has been the primary play caller, both with Tampa Bay and his time in Georgia, and he has a good understanding of the passing game. So honestly, the more I look at this signing, the better off I'm feeling here. Now, obviously, is this the signing many people wanted? No. People wanted Bieniemy. People wanted Bieniemy so bad. There was others that wanted to see if we could still get Leftwich. Others wanted to see if we could have a young offensive coordinator in terms of preparing him to try to take over that head coaching job from John Harbaugh, which just wasn't going to happen. Todd Monken wasn't exactly the person many people had on their radar. That wasn't the pick many people chose, but that is the pick the Ravens went with. And when you look at his background, you will understand that this guy knows what he's doing when it comes to the passing game. He's able to maximize the talent with the receiving core, and best of all, his adaptability is what's allowed him to be successful during his time as a coach. That is what you need to see. And honestly, that's all you can really hope for. We knew they weren't going to go outside and change their philosophy. If you bring in someone like an Eric Bieniemy, you're not going to be able to run the same system that Baltimore loves to run. You're not. You're not going to be able to. You're going to have to change the entire offensive philosophy if Bieniemy was to be the offensive coordinator, which is something many Ravens fans wanted. However, that is not something the Ravens are looking to do. The Ravens want to evolve their passing game, but they don't want to change the foundation. What's going on, Ruthless Monk? And they don't want to change their foundation. They're not looking to change their overall identity on offense. They're not looking to do that. They want to just evolve the passing game while still keeping their identity on offense. And Todd gives them the opportunity to do so. Just showing the stats. You look at the stats, what he was able to do in Tampa Bay, turning them from being the 18th ranked to 18th ranked total offense and 16th ranked passing offense, being that in 2016, to go from that to being ranked third in total yards and the number one rated passing offense in yards. Not to mention when it came to touchdowns, those 3 years they were ranked in the top 10. He was doing that with Jameis Winston as his quarterback. Then you see what he does in Georgia. In 3 years, they were able to win 2 national championships, and the offense took a major improvement. They went from throwing for 250 yards to throwing for 295 yards. They went from averaging 174 rushing yards to averaging over 205 rushing yards a game. Everywhere he's gone, he's shown improvement in the offense. He has an understanding of the passing game. He has an understanding in what he wants to do, and he has an adaptability to adapt to whatever system he has to get. So honestly, the more you look at this, the more you understand that this isn't a bad signing. It's not. It's not a bad signing. It's not the signing many people had on their radar, but this is not a bad signing. And you could tell the reason they brought him here is because of his adaptability, but also because of his scheme. Because if you take a look at the scheme he ran, both in Tampa Bay and in some cases during his time in Georgia, he ran a 12 personnel that utilized 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. And they were primarily a spread offense. They were a spread offense that was more so reliant on the passing game. So they were an air raid spread offense that ran 12 personnel. Both during his time in Tampa Bay and during his time in Georgia, they were they turned into an air raid spread offense that focused on getting the ball in the hands of both the receivers and tight end. They ran 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. That right there is what really solidified him getting signed. The personnel we ran, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. That's the exact type of personnel we ran during Greg Roman's time here. Now, with Greg Roman, he ran 13 personnel because we did have 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, but we also had a fullback in Patrick Ricard that he would utilize in the passing game. What I'm interested to see is how Todd Monken's going to try to incorporate Patrick Ricard into this game. Now, will he just utilize him in the run game only, or is he going to make an attempt to get him involved in the passing game? During Greg Roman's time, he loved utilizing Patrick Ricard in the passing game. However, I don't know if Todd Monken's willing to do that. Just taking a look at his resume, he doesn't really use the fullback like that. Yeah, he runs 12 personnel, but the fullback isn't really getting involved. Not to mention, not a lot of teams utilize the fullback. So I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with Patrick Ricard. I think his attempts, his catches are about to go way down because I don't know if he's going to be utilized like that in the passing game. Now, I think Todd Monken is going to choose to utilize him in the running game more because you can't just ignore a guy like Patrick Ricard. He is a force that has impacted this offense. So he's going to find a way to get him involved, but I do not believe we're going to be seeing a lot of screens where it's going to Patrick Ricard. I think those days are over for the most part. But yeah, the biggest part that's probably drew the Ravens to him has to be the personnel he chooses to run. It is an air raid spread offense that runs 12 personnel, the utilization of 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. That's what the Ravens want. The Ravens are never going to put 4 wide receivers out there on a consistent basis. They're never going to run a 3 wide receiver set on a consistent basis. They want 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers, which works well because the 2 tight ends they want to put out there is, of course, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. The 2 receivers that they'll look to put out there, depending on whether or not they're making improvements. But right now, the 2 receivers that we want to have out there alongside those 2 tight ends would be Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay because those are their 2 best receivers. So you would have a 12 personnel set where you have Mark Andrews on one side, Isaiah Likely on the other side. On the far end, you'll have Rashad Bateman on the other far end on the outside. You'll have Devin Duvernay. That's something that they could choose to run, which fits with what Todd is able to do. Now, they'll become more of a spread offense, hopefully. I'm hopeful that he'll turn this into much more of a spread offense because I've been begging the Ravens for years to turn this passing game into more of a spread offense. Lamar Jackson will thrive under a spread offense. He did in college. That best fits what he's supposed to do. And I believe Todd will have the opportunity to showcase his ability in doing that. So it is interesting to see how this goes. The more I take a look at Todd Monken, the better off I feel about his ability to evolve the passing game we have here in Baltimore. Now, we don't have a lot of talent at the receiving core past a Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. Now, the Ravens are going to make any moves in the offseason, we'll have to see, but we don't have a lot of weapons to utilize in the receiving core. In the tight end room, yeah, you have weapons to utilize, but in the receiving core, besides Bateman, besides Duvernay, there's not much to look at there. You have a nice player in DeMarcus Robinson, which I feel that they'll probably bring back because they like what he brought there. But past that, there's not much to look at in the receiving core. James Prochet, not much to look at really there. Tylan Wallace, not much to really look out there. You don't have a very talented receiving core. But the one thing Todd's been able to do is maximize the talent that's given to him. So that means that we may be seeing Rashad Bateman have a huge year here if he's able to stay healthy. Because I believe Todd Monken, based on his experience and how he's been able to work with receiving talent, he will be able to maximize the talent of Rashad Bateman. And he'll be able to utilize a Devin Duvernay and a DeMarcus Robinson if he's on the team next year, which I believe he will be. And we'll just see how that goes. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of, I already showed you guys the stats in terms of how he was able to improve the Bucs offense and what he was able to do during his time in Georgia. So the stats speak for themselves. I guess if we want to talk about his philosophy, it's I think that one actually is important because I think that's another factor that kind of drew the Ravens here. There was a tweet that actually went out about his offensive philosophy. And his offensive philosophy pretty much focused in on what he chooses to do in offense. And he really talked about the utilization of the skill players and the utilization of skill players and the utilization of the receivers and the weapons you have. See, when it comes to the offense, it's not really about focusing on the passing game or the running game. It's about focusing on utilizing the skill players to maximize what you can get out of the passing game and out of the running game. When he was explaining that, he went into detail about it. And I can't lie, I was impressed with what I was hearing. He was saying the right things. This was during his time when he was in Cleveland. What happened to my stream? Yeah, it just straight up malfunctioned. My whole screen went black, so I kind of had to cut that one off. I don't know why my computer kind of just... I think it's because I have something running here because it's supposed to be updated. So shortly after the stream's over, I'm going to update my computer. So an update was running. I had to temporarily stop that. Due to that update, everything went black and my computer almost shut off on me. But because the stream was on, it had to stop itself. What's going on, Josh? How you doing, man? So yeah, I actually had, this computer was getting ready to restart because it was going to update itself. And it just kind of moved itself back. But anyway, back to Monken. Yeah, based on what I've seen, I've shown you guys the stats. I showed you how he improved Tampa Bay's offense from 2016 to 2018. They were ranked 18th in total yards and 16th in passing yards. By the time they got to 2018, he turned that 18th ranked in total offense to 3rd ranked in total offense. He turned that 16th ranked passing offense to number 1 in the league. He did that with Jameis Winston. We already saw what he did in Georgia. What's going on, Flex Zone? Appreciate you guys stopping by. In terms of Georgia, when he got there the first year, they averaged 250 passing yards and 174 rushing yards. By the time he left in 2022, they had 2 national championships, and his final year there, they went from 249 passing yards to 295 passing yards. And they went from 174 rushing yards to 205 rushing yards. So they went from 424 total yards to over 500 total yards on offense, won 2 national titles. So again, everywhere he's gone, he's shown the ability to maximize the talent that's on the field. He's shown the ability and the understanding of how the passing game goes. And he's shown that he can be able to improve the passing game, improve the offense, and impact the skill players and bring out the best in them. So I think it's an interesting signing. And yeah, in terms of what I was saying again about his offensive philosophy, he was really just talking about utilizing skill players to make the offense itself, not focusing on when to pass or when to run, because that's not his focus on offense. His philosophy on offense isn't focusing on when to pass or when to run or how I should pass or how I should run. It's more so on the focus of utilizing your weapons, utilizing your receivers, utilizing your skill players to create those passing plays, utilizing your skill players to create those running plays, and getting all your talent involved. That was his offensive philosophy, which again, I believe that is a good thing. This is a guy that understands the receiving position. This is a guy that understands the passing position. This is a guy that understands offense in general. And he understands how to create plays. He understands how to scheme plays. And based on his success, he knows what he's doing as a play caller. Now, again, we talked about the 12 personnel, and because he runs a 12 personnel where he utilizes 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, people were trying to say he's Greg Roman 2.0. That's not even remotely close. In terms of his success, we've seen it. Greg Roman has never had a passing offense as good. It's never been below 20. He's had a bottom 10 passing offense from San Francisco to Buffalo to his time in Baltimore. Meanwhile, Todd Monken with Jameis Winston somehow had the 3rd ranked total offense and number 28 in terms of touchdowns, offensive touchdowns, or at least passing touchdowns. They were in the top 10. In terms of passing touchdowns, all 3 years they were in the top. They were straight up in the top 10 when it came to passing touchdowns. So this guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he was doing. And during his time in Georgia, we saw him improve the passing game and the running game to be a great balance. And that's why they had 2 national championships. Yeah, the defense was good, but the offense made a tremendous improvement throughout the 3 years he was there. So this guy knows what he's doing. This guy understands what he's doing. This guy has an understanding of the receiving position. This guy, he showcased he had an understanding of the receiving position from his time with Jacksonville. He showcased that he can develop an offense during his time in Tampa Bay, and he maximized that during his time in college with Georgia by winning 2 national championships. I think his resume speaks for himself. He wasn't the number 1 pick. Everyone wanted Eric Bieniemy, and I understand that. Eric Bieniemy was obviously on my list as well, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But I don't think Todd Monken is a bad decision. I think he's the best. He's the best of both worlds. He's the best of both aspects for both for in terms of what the fans want and in terms of what the Ravens want. The fans want a guy that the mic. Sorry, let me see if I. Is it still acting up, or is it? You guys hear me? Am I good now, or is it still acting up? Because again, Like I said, my computer right now was supposed to be updating, and I did not realize that. Okay, we're good now. So yeah. So I'm not gonna be here much longer because again, the reason why my stream, Raven C, what's going on, man? I actually want to get your take on this because I know someone came in here earlier, Raven C, and they'll talk about how I already saw your video, so I know how you feel about it. But a lot of people are under the belief that you absolutely hate this signing. Now, I know your initial reaction was not exactly the most positive to this. Trust me, I was the same because I didn't know what he brought to the table. But I know, just like you, I did the research as well, and I saw what he brought to the table. And just like you, I'm kind of the mindset of, well, his resume shows that he does have the ability to improve and maximize the talents of the receivers. He's actually been successful as an offense coordinator in terms of the passing game. And obviously, we saw what he did in Georgia. So we're not sure how this is going to turn out. But we do see some positives there. And we do see some good things there that could definitely benefit the Ravens. I think it just comes down to the talent that the Ravens try to bring out in the offseason to improve the offense. And at that point, we just see what they're able to come up with in terms of schemes and play calling and how he's going to go about it. Because one of the things that he's able to do is he's able to adapt to whatever system he's given. His adaptability is his best aspect, so that is good. What do you think about this hire? I'm fine with it. I initially I didn't know much about it, but I'm fine with it in terms of I've taken a look at the numbers, and I showed it during the stream as well. I've taken a look at the numbers. I've taken a look at his experience. This guy was able, in 3 years with Tampa Bay, they were ranked 18th in passing, 18th in total yards, 16th in passing his first year there. By his final year there as the offensive coordinator in 2018, they went from 18th in total yards to 3rd in total yards. And they went from 16th in passing yards to number 1. He had the number 1 passing offense in the 3rd best total yardage offense in football with Jameis Winston as his quarterback, as well as Ryan Fitzpatrick, because both of them played that year. So he was able to do that with Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then in college, we saw what he was able to do, and we saw the offense improve. 2 national championships as the offensive coordinator. He improved the offense every single year. So I think it's a good hire. I'm not sitting there jumping for joy like, oh, thank God he's going to change life right off the bat. I don't know if he's going to change life. I'm not going to jump the gun like that. But being objective from what I've seen, everything I've seen in terms of taking a look at his coaching background, his experiences, and what he's been able to do and what he's been able to accomplish, I like what I see. I'm hearing nothing but good things when it comes to him. So me personally, I'm fine with the hire. I think this could work out. I think you're going to get the best of both worlds with Todd Monken. And what I mean by the best of both worlds in terms of what the fan base wants and in terms of what the Ravens want. The Ravens don't want to change their identity on offense. They don't. They don't want to change their identity on offense, but they want to evolve the passing game. They want to be known as this dominant running team. That's the philosophy of the Ravens. That's what this franchise has been built on. So they don't want to get away from that, but they want to improve the passing game. They want the passing game to be better than what is displayed, which is why they brought this guy in. And because this guy's had success. If he's able to get the number 1 passing offense and number 3 total yardage offense in 2018 with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if he's able to get that with Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick, then imagine what he could do with Lamar Jackson for a season. And again, another aspect that brought him here is the personnel he chose to run. 12 personnel. We ran 13 personnel because we included Patrick Ricard. But he runs 12 personnel. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The difference is we were more so of a heavy set formation. We ran a lot of things out of the pistol. Everything was bunched up. That's not Todd's offense. They are an air raid spread type of offense. They are an air raid pro style spread offense. That's what they run. So that's going to be the thing. My main thing is I was like, yeah, chill. Yeah, I'm chill. I want to see what happens with his experience, all them years being offensive coordinator and hoping around. Yeah, that's true. Like hopefully he will be a plus. My main thing is he has to adjust and use JK more than 15 times. Honestly, I believe it's really going to come down to it, but I honestly believe he should be able to do that because one thing that he's shown in his resume is that he's able to adapt. He's able to adapt and maximize the talent of anybody on his roster because that's his philosophy, utilizing his skilled players to create his offense. He's not focusing on when you should pass or when you should throw. Greg Roman, when it came to the offense, he was focused on we should pass now. Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, 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 run, pass. He was focusing on when we should pass. Todd's philosophy is, I'm not focusing on the passing game. I'm not focusing on the run game in terms of when we should pass and when we should run. My main focus is maximizing the talent I have on my roster and utilizing my skill players and my weapons to create my passing game. Utilizing my skill players to create the run game. I want to utilize my players and get them involved and use them to create my offense. So he wants to build an offense based on utilizing the skill sets and talents of his players. And I think when you have an offensive coordinator that has that mindset, you can create something special, which is why he had so much success in Georgia. He maximized the talent there and utilized the guys he had on his roster to create his passing game. Utilized the guys he had on his roster to create his running game. And that's what you would want in an offensive coordinator. That's a creative mindset. So on comes to J.K. Dobbins, he's going to understand the talent of J.K. Dobbins. He's going to look at the numbers and he's going to understand what J.K. Dobbins brings to the table. So because of that, I expect J.K. Dobbins to probably be utilized more than 15 times. J.K. Dobbins is probably going to be the primary back, and then second is going to be Gus Edwards. And if anyone else is going to be utilized, such as a Kenyon Drake, maybe he'll probably get a couple carries here and there. But I expect in terms of the running and passing game, I'm perfectly fine with it. A lot of people seem to not like me with my first reaction. We be real, fam. See, here's the thing. People have to understand, if there's a signing that we don't know about, we're going to react however we react. A lot of us wanted Eric Bieniemy. A lot of us wanted Brian Leftwich. A lot of us thought we were going to go get the Eagles quarterback coach. A lot of us thought we were going to pick a guy that's already shown to have success in the NFL currently. We weren't expecting them to go pick up a guy from college. So when you see a guy that you don't really know about, that you don't know his resume and what he brings to the table, yeah, your initial reaction is going to be like, who the hell is this guy? And then you hear people say, well, he runs a lot of 12 personnel. During his time as a coach, he runs 12 personnel. Well, if you're a Ravens fan, he runs 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. If you're a Ravens fan, that's not exactly what you want to hear, because when Greg Roman was here, we ran 13 personnel, which again was the addition to Patrick Ricard, because we have the availability to have a Patrick Ricard. But mainly for the passing game, we've ran 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. So a lot of people, when they heard that this guy does the same thing, everyone's thinking, here we go, it's going to be another Greg Roman. So I understand the initial reactions. And I know people are going to be mad at you for that, but it is what it is, Ravens. So you know how it is. At the end of the day, you got to see what he's about, and you're like, okay, now I'm more interested in seeing what he can create here. So we're allowed to have initial reactions. It's not like we're going to like every single move the Ravens make, but we're also going to go do our research. We'll make our initial reaction, go do our research, and see what comes of it. If we still feel the same way afterwards, hey, that's just our opinion. If we like what we see, we're going to change our opinion. That's just how it is. Which hire would have made you mad? Honestly, I don't know if there's a hire that would have made me mad. Dude, I was so sick of Greg Roman. Wait. Is there somebody? Oh, Adam Gase. People were trolling. If I was to actually throw, this was never going to happen. But if somehow Adam Gase became the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, I would truly question if we actually care. Greg Roman coming back would make everyone mad. That, honestly, I'm not joking. I don't know if I would be able to cover football. I would not be covering Ravens football next year if Greg Roman was still here. Like, if he got fired and they brought him back, no. Let him go. Right now, he's trying to be the offensive coordinator for the Commanders, which, honestly, I pray to God the Commanders don't do that. Please, I swear, I just got this man out of here. Don't tell me he just moved down the street next to me. I swear to you, if he goes to the Commanders, I'm going to have a problem, bro. It's not going to be pretty. I don't want this man here. I don't want him to go from the Ravens all of a sudden back. Now he's with the Commanders. It's going to piss me off even more. Yeah, I'm glad we got an outside guy because an inside guy would not bring anything new. Oh, true, definitely, definitely. Um, an inside guy, in terms of inside guy, it would have just probably just been Keith Williams or T Martin, which again wouldn't have been the worst pick, but I prefer getting an outside hire because you want to bring in a fresh perspective. An inside hire, I assume they really were considering that, but at the end of the day, going outside and bringing in someone else with a different offensive philosophy that's more fitting terms in terms of what currently works well in the NFL and what currently works well in college football. I like this. So I think this is a good decision, and we'll just see. We'll just see. Bro, you can know Gregory moving to his new home, like you said when Greg was fired. Oh no, if he moves down here, if he moves down the street next to me, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a problem. M&T Bank Stadium's like 45 minutes away. But FedEx Field is like 20. When I said before, I was like, I will drive to Baltimore and see it. No. FedEx Field's right down the street from me. I will drive to that place and see him directly if he's there. I don't want that to happen. It would not take me that long to get to FedEx Field. I will drive down the street to go see this man. I'm not playing around. Do not come here. Go away. Go to college or something, bro. Go be a college offensive coordinator. Build up your resume and see if you can come back somewhere else. But I swear to God, if the Commanders hire him, bro, that's such a Commanders move. Please don't do this. Because if you do, Terry McLaurin is not going to be here much longer. You are not about to ruin this man's career. Don't come here. But yeah, that's a different conversation. Anyway, with Todd, pretty much to wrap things up, because I actually got to start updating my computer. To wrap things up here, I think Todd Monken, he's going to be knocking on my door. Oh, yeah, I dare him to knock on my door, bro. I dare him to knock on my door saying I'm the new offensive coordinator. We got some problems. At this point, I'm gonna help both you and you know what? Let me chill out. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna say it ain't gonna happen. Knowing the Commanders, knowing Washington, they would pull a move like this. They'll sit back and say, "Oh, did you see what he could do with Lamar Jackson? Oh my God, he turned him into an MVP. Obviously, he's gonna be here. Let's ignore all the red flags we saw and bring him here." That reminds me of what happened with Billy Cundiff. We saw Billy Cundiff miss that field goal, and I kid you not, the following year he was on the Washington. I just, please don't bring him here. I swear to God, I can't. I just got him away from me. Don't bring him here. Oh my God, don't bring him, Weeb. I swear to God, don't bring him here. But anyway, to wrap things up for the most part, because I do got to head on out of here. I've been here for over an hour. Well, I mean, this is the second stream, but I've been here for a while now. Either way, when it comes to Todd Monken, my final assessment on him is he is somebody that can bring something new to the table. He is somebody that is the best of the both worlds. Yeah, peace out, Raven C. Appreciate you stopping by. He is somebody that's going to bring something new to the table. He's somebody that can help evolve the passing game. He's somebody that brings the best of both worlds, both what the fans want and what the Ravens want. The fans want this passing game to be evolved and to have the talent we have at receiver be maximized and to maximize Lamar Jackson's abilities. I think this guy is capable of doing that. If he can maximize the talent of Jameis Winston, I would assume this... Come on. If he was able to do that with Jameis Winston, we saw what he was able to do in college, I would believe he would be able to do it with Lamar Jackson, who's easily going to be the best quarterback he's ever had to scheme up plays for. So you're going to get that aspect that the fans want, but you'll also be able to keep that offensive identity that the Ravens want to keep. And he fits well into what they want to do, and he's able to adapt to whatever they want to do. So I think this is a good signing. But just for my initial thoughts and after looking at it, I think this is a good signing. I don't know what the Ravens plan to do next because I've heard a report that this isn't the only potential change we're going to be seeing on the offense. It looks like there's going to be several changes potentially in terms of the offensive coaching staff. So I don't know how true of a report this is, but there was a report about this that there's the possibility that the offensive coaching staff as a whole could be seeing some changes, maybe some additions somewhere else, which, Rich, honestly, I think is probably legitimate because we did hear about the Ravens going after Cliff Kingsbury, not for the offensive coordinator position, but for a role on their offensive coaching staff. So if that's the case, they may be looking to reamp this offensive coaching staff and have a brand new philosophy and really truly take away from everything Greg Roman was doing when it came to the passing game. That could be the case. The question is whether Lamar is going to sign on the Ravens for this. Well, again, I don't know if Lamar isn't the type of person that seems like he'll just leave because of the offensive coordinator. The man literally played with Greg Roman's offense and really didn't complain about it. He's definitely a team player one-on-one. He's definitely a team player no matter what the situation is. So I don't think he would choose not to sign because of the offensive coordinator. But if you look at the guy's resume, the guy is he's credited. He's credited. That's all I have to say. So, not to mention they did get Lamar's input when it came to finding the next offensive coordinator. So, in terms of what they're looking for, in terms of the fit, they got their inquiries from Lamar Jackson and put in the file, and then went out to get their offensive coaching search. I would assume that this guy would fit into what Lamar wants, because again, Todd ran an air raid pro style spread offense. That's what he ran. He ran that in college, and he ran that with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it led to success. So I would assume that's something Lamar wants, a pro-style air raid spread offense, which is something he was running when he was in college in Louisville, a pro-style offense, mainly a spread offense. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that's pretty much my initial thoughts. I'm interested to see how things are going to go. There may be some more coaching changes in the offensive room, so we'll see. And will Lamar Jackson sign? We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I might look to talk about this a little bit more as the week goes on, but I'm gonna call it a day here. I've been doing this for over an hour. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you for stopping by. This wasn't supposed to be long. It was brief, but I appreciate the few of you stopping by just to chat. Lamar is gone. Yeah, Derek, I'm sure he's gonna be gone. We'll see what happens. Cool. But yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'll probably discuss this a little bit more. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys stopping by. With that being said, that is all I've got. And I'm out of here, man. Peace out.